Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Keenan Hudson. I believe in the youth. But I got a message for the parents and the guardians, right? I've been receiving like different inboxes, concerning like, hey, what can I say to my kids? My kids are acting up, et cetera, et cetera. And it's totally understandable. I know that you guys, you want like solutions, to really keep your kids on track. But you gotta remember, it all starts in the household. It all starts with you. It all starts with the parent, the guardian, whoever, has legal guardian over the kid. It starts with them. If you raising them right, you treating them, you teaching them to do right things. It's not saying that they won't fall off and they won't do bad things. No, because kids going to be kids. Kids are hard-headed. Kids going to, they're learning, they're growing. They don't know. But it's who you put around them. Mentors, et cetera, because you got to remember, it takes two to make one. You get that, right? It takes two to make one. Yes, it takes you and whoever your significant other or whoever your partner is to make a child. So why do you think it's so complicated, for you to try to bestow some type of morals in a kid or, because sometimes 9 times out of 10, especially in the city of Philadelphia, they're missing a parent. You know what I'm saying? They're missing that connection, that bond. They're missing a part, an essential part of life. Usually it's the father, because usually, you have a lot of single mothers, in cities, in different cities, not just Philadelphia, to raise a child. So it starts in the household. And I'm not saying to shout out to all the single women, single mothers, they've been raising their kids, the best of their ability because it's been out of there. I can respect that. I tilt my hat to you. But at the same time, especially raising boys, when a woman is raising a boy, that's something, it's tough. It's tough. And I won't elaborate, around that because that's a sensitive subject. But it's tough for a woman to raise a boy because my mom was a single woman. And I had a stepdad came in the picture, but my mom, that was later, but it wasn't. But where I had to learn a lot of, my manhood was out in the streets, through the jails, et cetera, et cetera. But my mom alone, yeah, she worked. She did a lot of things for me. She couldn't, she had time, but she didn't have time because she had to work. She had to feed the family. She had to feed my brothers and sisters. So that was left, was left up for us to stand to my grandma and stuff like that. But I still made my way outside, the streets and stuff like that. But it all starts in the household. Now, it does, when you train up a child the way they should go, they're not going to forget it. That's absolutely, I agree. But if you train them up around a bunch of abuse, we traumatizing, and it's okay. I believe you should chastise, you should correct them with the right. I believe that, yes. You discipline them, you make them know, listen, you living under my house. Listen, you're going to abide by my rules until you start paying the bill around here. I agree, absolutely. But when you correct them, you explain why. You explain why you correcting them. Why you don't want them to fall and be another statistic. Why? Don't just beat them. Oh, yeah, I told you not to do that. Yeah, all this. That stuff has an effect. Give you mental challenges. Your brain, it doesn't operate. It doesn't develop. Because the only thing we're going to remember, hey, my mom beat me. She did this, she did that. And my uncle did this. And she let me go around, and I kept telling her that I don't like being around him, and he keep doing this to me, and da-da-da-da. Don't overlook the things your kids say. But again, it goes back to the household. What you pouring in your kids. Who you allowing your kids to be around. I know it's hard sometimes to control, especially out in the street with this peer pressure. The kids get sucked into certain fads, certain trends that's going on today. I understand that. It's understandable. I mean, sometimes you let a kid be a kid, they go ahead and have their little freedom. But what you pouring into them when they growing up, when they crawling and everything, you smoking around them, you cursing around them and all that stuff has an effect. You got to check that. Check that at the door. Like, you got to make sure I'm going to raise them right. But again, expecting, especially when you're raising them by yourself, you can't possibly, especially when it's like 2 or 3 kids. Man, I'm telling you, me and my bro, I used to put my mom through hell. I feel so bad now. I used to put her through so much hell because I was always the black sheep of the family. I was always the one that was in trouble. They always, talked about me. They always treated me, my cousins, everybody, they always treated me like an outcast. Because I had ADHD. I was hyperactive. I was everywhere. I was on Ritalin. I was on, all these different types of drugs where I look at it now like, why would y'all have me on them drugs? For them to try to keep me calm. You look at Ritalin. The side effects of that. I used to lose my appetite. I couldn't even eat. But that's the only way they could try to control me. And I really don't believe in the medication thing. But that's another story. But at the same time, it's like, this is a hard world. It's like when we making these kids, we got to really plan those type of things out. But sometimes they say, oh, it was an oops, baby, or there was a mistake. Or this. No, not me. I believe life is precious. You know what I'm saying? You just got to make wise decisions, when it comes to raising these kids. That's important. But my advice, especially for a lot of, the single mothers, the ones that, that's raising them, even if they're, if they're growing up, you just got to pour into them. You got to still hope and believe in them. Yes, you chastise, if you got to correct them, you let them know. You're still the mother. You're not grown. Yes. But they have to learn. They have to learn, from examples, mentors. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them. You got to show them a way, that they may make their way. You know what I'm saying? You got to know how to let them know how to go to, about different things, go to different resources, how to figure information out. You know what I'm saying? Because with that being said, at the same time, you got to make sure your child is right. How they're right in their mind. Can they think? Are they able to cope, around other individuals? Are they able to cope, under pressure? Are they able to cope, when times are hard? How do they vent? Do you know your child? It's crucial. So we got to really, like I said, we got to really examine. I don't mean to be here all day because, it's the morning. I'm ready, to get this day started, but my thing is this. Pay attention to your child, pour into your child, support them, on the things that they want to do in life. Don't just ignore them. It's extremely important because a lot of times people ignore and don't like to pour in their kids. They just have them sitting in the house all day. That's not cool. So, again, support them. Be that example. Show them how to seek resources. Help them out with things. And always find out where they're at in their mind. Find out how they're doing. Because a lot of parents, y'all don't see how, your kids are doing. Just allow them to go lock in a room with these cell phones and stuff. It's not cool. Better pay attention to what they're watching and what they're looking at, what they're sneaking and doing. Because I'm telling you, you're going to regret it when they get a little older. But again, my name is Ken Hudson. I believe in you. I mean, y'all can send, like I said, you can send, keep sending the inboxes. I'm sorry if I couldn't, respond to a lot of them. Like, it's been a lot going on. But please keep sending. Thank you for your support. And again, y'all have a good day, all right? It's Ken Hudson. I believe in the youth. Message for the parents. Cool.